Let's make a little space for what's going on here. Let's see what's going on. What's happening? All right, let's see. Welcome to a deGrom replay. I believe it's he's 4-1 now, and one no decision. So 4-1, one no decision. I think this is start number 7, and his ERA is about 180, I believe, at this point. In reality, he was 3-0. And we are joining the action in the top of the 5th. Nobody out. It's Ender Enciarte, the center fielder. Now, I am using the dice today simply because I'm taking a break from the fast action cards in terms of the numbers, just because of I have some questions regarding the randomness. Should I use, I'm using one deck, I have 2 decks. Should I use 2 decks? Should I use 3 decks? And so forth. So anyway, we're in Citi Field, New York, going Flushing, Queens, New York, right across from LaGuardia Airport. And we're ready to roll here to continue the game. We are in the top of the 5th. There's nobody out. It's deGrom on the mound and Ender Enciarte for the Braves. The score is 2-1, New York. And let's go. Here's the roll for the pitcher. It's defense. I'm going to pull a card and see exactly what that is. It says range left field. Range left field. Cespedes. Let's see what Cespedes' range is. Range for Cespedes is a D, so he doesn't have much range. He's hobbled by some injuries, some leg injuries, some hamstring injuries. So he's a D. We're going to roll here in the D range. So 1 to 53 is going to be a hit for Enciarte, and it's a 94. That's going to be an out. So I'm going to just make it a fly out to left. There were some doubts that Cespedes was going to get to that ball, but in the end, he was able to. Next is Albies, Ozzie Albies, the second baseman for the Braves. 6. So that's tough pitch. 62. Tough pitch 62, and that's going to take us into the out area. And that's going to be a fly ball lifted to left against Cespedes. Gets called on for out number 2, and Ronnie Acuna. Say 3, that's tough. Ronnie Acuna is 2 for 2 on the day. 84. And that's going to be a fly ball lifted to center. Lagares pounds the glove, and that's 3 up, 3 down. It's Sean Newcomb, the lefty, on the mound for the Braves. And it's Asdrubal Cabrera. He flied out and grounded out. Say 6. That's a tough pitch. See what Cabrera can do with that. It's going to be a 15, and that's a strikeout. So Cabrera goes down on strikes. Next is Wilmer Flores. It's a 6. Tough. And a 61. 61 is going to take us into the out category, and that's going to be a ground ball hit right at Ryan Flaherty, playing third across the diamond to Freeman. 5-3, 2 away. And then it's Yoenis Cespedes. 6, tough off Newcomb. And that's a 40 tough, and that's a strikeout. Don't face a lot of lefties, so I have to. When I do face a lefty, I have to keep on reminding myself, "Hey, look at the left side." So I have to go out of my way to remind myself of that. All right, we're going to continue here in the top of the 6th inning. It's going to be deGrom against Freddie Freeman. It's a 9. That's going to be patient. So Freddie shows some patience at the plate. 0-1. Patient. That's a ball 4. So Freeman walks. Freeman, not much of a base stealer, but he does have 10 stolen bases with 3 caught stealing. He's considered a B base stealer. So Markakis is the batter. And that's a 7. That's in play. And that's going to be a 94. In play 94 is going to take us to a fly ball to lift it to right. And the right fielder, Jay Bruce, is there. And Freeman back to the bag. Tyler Flowers. Flowers is hit by a pitch and struck out swing. That's a 12. That's a tough pitch. And that's going to be a 36. 36. It's going to be a strikeout. Two away now, and Dansby Swanson, he walked and hit a line drive. He's 0 for 1. That's 4 tough, and that's 18. Tough 18 is a strikeout. Okay, so Newcomb can go 5, or he becomes fatigued if he gives up 3 runs. He hasn't given up 3 runs, he's only given up 2, so he's still in the game. We'll probably pinch hit for him as soon as his turn at bat comes. So he's going to face Frazier, and that's a 7. That's ballpark. So we're going to look here at the ballpark, right-handed. So you want 1 to 48 for Frazier's wheelhouse, and we rolled a 45. So that's within Frazier's wheelhouse, but against a lefty, it's only 1 to 21 for a home run, giving the Mets a 3 to 1 lead. Let's see what happens here. And that's a 20. That ball is hit deep to center field. Back goes the center fielder, Enciarte, to the track, to the wall. It's out of here. Todd Frazier gives the Mets a 3 to 1 lead. And we go to the next batter, Jay Bruce. Jay Bruce is a lefty facing a lefty in Sean Newcomb. Some action in the Braves bullpen. It's a 7, another ballpark. This is from a lefty, so you're looking 1 to 46 for it to be in Bruce's wheelhouse. And that's a 76. That's going to be in play. In play is less dangerous for the pitchers. 86, in play 86. We look at the left side. That's going to take us to a ground ball at second baseman for the first out. Albies flips over to Freeman. 1 away. Juan Lagares now. 10, that's patient. Going to look at the yellow here on the left. 78 takes us to the out range. Ground ball again to Albies. Easy play, 2 away. And Ahmed Rosario. Rosario has a single and a home run. 7, ballpark. Rosario needs 1 to 48 to be in the wheelhouse, and that's a 24-20. Doesn't really matter too much. It's going to be in the wheelhouse, and wheelhouse from a lefty is 1 to 12. And that's a 65. A 65 is out of range. And it's going to be an out, a ground ball to the third baseman. Across the diamond, gets Rosario by a step. So deGrom now facing Flaherty. This is probably going to be it for Newcomb, because Newcomb is due up next, and we see a pinch hitter, Suzuki, ready to roll there with the bat in his hand. Ryan Flaherty, 10 off deGrom. That's tough pitch. See what he can do with it. 30, strikes out. And it's going to be Kurt Suzuki. We're going to pop him in there because Suzuki, oh, there he is. Okay, Suzuki's ready to roll here against Jake deGrom. It's a 5, tough pitch. And it's a 55, tough 55. It's going to take us to a ground ball to third base. Frazier up with it across the diamond. And that's 2 away. Next is going to be Ender Enciarte, the center fielder. Mets lead at 3 to 1 here in the top of the 7th. It's deGrom on the mound, where you're seeing the deGrom 2018 replay 2.0. Second time we're running it. This time we're not doing it on paper, we're doing it using iScore. So that's a 7. That's in play for Enciarte. Enciarte is grounded out and flied out. And that's going to be, we're going to have to re-roll that, and that's going to be 95. In play 95 is going to take us to a fly ball lifted to right. Jay Bruce in a few steps, and that's out number 3. leading it off for the Mets here. Gonna need a new pitcher for, it's gonna be Moylan, Peter Moylan. He actually pitched in this game. We're using actual lineups. So most of the guys that I have set aside are the guys that played in this game. Trying to be as historical as possible. So Peter Moylan, we're going to pick him out here. Let's see where we have him. Anywhere, I see here. Or do I need to create him? I need to create him. Okay, so we're going to add sub. Peter Moylan. Yeah, he's a righty, so okay. All right, let's get him in there. And he's going to bat eighth. Okay, it's Jose Lobetone leading it off for the Mets against Peter Moylan. That's a 10. That's Patient. And that's 0-5. Patient 0-5 against a right-hander. That's going to be ball 4. So Lobetone walks. He's on at first. deGrom still in there, and he's going to bunt. deGrom is a C bunter. And over, actually I'm going to pull a card. So a C bunter, see what happens here. Sacrifice hit. So it's good. Sacrifice bunt, it's going to be 1-4. So over to second goes Lobetone. And now that I think of it, I'd like to get this run in. So you know what? Let's bring in a pinch runner for the Mets. Let's bring in Reyes. Reyes is going to run at second. It's going to hit that. And pinch runner. I'm going to pick Reyes. There we go. New catcher will be Plawecki when we come back. So Cabrera against Moylan, and that's a 9 off Moylan. That's a ballpark. Cabrera is batting from the left side, so we need a 1-46 to be in Cabrera's wheelhouse. It's a 68, so it doesn't fall in there, but it's going to be in play. And it's going to be a 21, in play 21. That's going to be a sharp liner into center field. Runner on second scores. RBI single for Cabrera. And it's Wilmer Flores. Cabrera's on at first. There's one out. Mets lead at 4-1 now. And that's a 3. It's going to be Patient off Moylan. Patient 33, a 33 Patient. That's ball 4, and that's going to be it for Moylan. Out comes the manager, and he's getting pulled. He's getting the hook. Didn't do very much for the Mets. Let's look here real quick at the... yeah, didn't do very much. Came in, gave up a walk, a sacrifice, then a single, and another walk. So he's going to get replaced right away with a left against Cespedes. Let's see who we can bring in here. Going to bring in Shane Carl. Shane Carl, a right-hander. There we go. Let's pull Moylan, bring in Shane Carl. It's going to be Cespedes, runners on first and second, only one out. It's going to be 3, ballpark. Not exactly what you want. Cespedes is a right-handed batter, so we're going to roll to see if it's wheelhouse or in play. It's a 90. That's going to be in play. Still good for the offensive team. 34, and in play 34. It's going to be a soft blooper into short left field. Runner on first advances 1 base. Runner on second scores. So a single. He goes home. Stays at second. First and second now. And the Mets lead at 5-1. So it's Todd Frazier against Shane Carl with only one out here, first and second. It's a 9. That's going to be in play off Carl. It's going to be 59, an in play 59. It's going to take us into the out range, a fly ball to right field. And Flores does not have the speed to be ever considering moving up. So we're not even going to look for that. And next is Jay Bruce, a lefty. So we're going to bring in a lefty now. Going to bring in a lefty. And that's going to be Sam Freeman. Lefty versus lefty. That's pretty quick, huh? There you go. Freeman's in there against Jay Bruce. 2 outs, first and second. Mets lead at 5-1. It's a 5. That's patient. Off a lefty, that's 0-2. That's ball 4. Bases are now loaded. So Freeman comes in and walks Bruce. Lagares a righty now. So Freeman's going to stay in there. He's going to face Lagares. The base is loaded. 8. That's tough. And that's going to be 22. That's a strikeout. So Freeman limits the damage, and he gets out of the inning with no more runs being scored, but it's a 5-1 New York lead going to the top of the 8th inning. That's going to have a new catcher, Plawecki. And let's see, Lobaton is out, and Plawecki's going to be in. Okay. Let's see. deGrom is still in there for the Mets. He's going to be facing Albies, Acuna, and Freeman. We're using the dice this time around. No action, no fast action cards for the number generators. Outside of, we're using them for errors and for hit locations and that sort of thing. Makes it much easier than pulling charts. I'm not a big friend of charts. So that's off. That's a tough pitch off deGrom to Albies. Let's see what he can do with it. 68. That's going to be a fly ball lifted to left. Cespedes, he's there. Hobbled a bit by some hamstring injuries that he's been going through throughout the 2018 season. Eventually ends up having heel surgery for some calcium buildup in the heels, and he won't be back. He'll miss the first 2 months of the 2019 season. Ronnie Acuna against deGrom. That's a tough pitch, and that's a 12, and that's a strikeout. Acuna goes down swinging. Freddie Freeman. Freeman struck out swinging twice and walked. It's an 11. That's ballpark for Freeman from the left side. And that's a 0-8. That's going to be Wheelhouse. Wheelhouse 1-38 is out of here. And that's a 75. 75 is going to be a sharp liner into center for a single. So Freeman missed that one, but still got a single out of it. And Nick Markakis with 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. It's a 7. That's in play. 48 in play, 48, and that's going to be a soft looper into short right field. Runner on first advances 1 base. Unless there's 2 outs, so unless he's a 6, and he is a 6, so he's going to hustle over to third. It's a single, and he was moving on the pitch there with 2 outs, and he gets over to third. Tyler Flores against deGrom. That's an 8. That's a tough pitch. See what Flores can do with it. 0-2. That's a strikeout. Out number 3. So deGrom fans Flores. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. Sam Freeman is still in there for the Braves. He's going to face Rosario, who singled, hit a home run, and grounded out. That's an 8. That's tough. And that's an 80, a tough 80 against a lefty. It's a fly ball center field. Next is going to be Plawecki. And we got to get Plawecki in there. There we go. Okay. Kevin Plawecki, his first at bat of the game. That's a 5. That's Patient off Freeman. Patient is a 61. A Patient 61 off a lefty. You're not going to believe it, but Plawecki gets a hold of one, drives it deep over the center fielder's head. One bounce off the wall, kind of skirts away from Enciarte. He's chasing it down, and Plawecki, gets to third base, and that's hard to believe. Kevin Plawecki had 2 triples from the against left-handed pitching, and this is one of them. So you're a witness to it. A triple for Kevin Plawecki. And Jacob deGrom, 5-1. You know what? He's going to be pulled. He's going to be lifted for a pinch hitter here. A 5-1 game. And we'll have Gazelman. Going to have Brandon Nimmo come into. Oh, he's a lefty. Let's see if we can bring a righty. See if we have any righties hanging out. No righties from what I can see. So we're going to just bring in Nimmo to bat for deGrom. No. All right, it's Freeman. Freeman against Nimmo with Plawecki. Infield's going to be playing in. That's a 4. That's going to be Patient. And that's a 27. A Patient 27 is ball 4. First and third now. Infield's in. It's Cabrera 6. Tough pitch. And it's a 0-0. That's going to be a rare play. I'm going to see what that ends up being. 41. I'm sorry. That's a 5. It's a re-roll. Total is equal or higher than the pitcher's hole rating. Balk is called. Okay. So let's see. We're going to roll to see the hole rating is a 6. And that's an 11, so that's a balk. Re-roll. Higher than the pitcher's hole rating. Balk is called, runners advance 1 base. So that's a pretty unusual there. A balk with a runner on third. And I may have to go to put that in there. That's actually miscellaneous. Miscellaneous, a balk. And it moves everybody up for me automatically. So that's crazy. All right, so Cabrera's still up there. And that's a 6. That's a tough pitch. Excuse me. And that's a 66. 66, a tough pitch, 66. Off a lefty. It's going to be a ground ball to third base. And Nimmo's going to have to hold on that. 2 outs now. Score is 6-1 Mets. Wilmer Flores. That's a 4. Patient. And that's a Patient 11. That's going to be ball 4. And that's going to be it for Freeman. That's all she wrote for Freeman. Going to replace him now. See who we have coming in here. You know what? I had a couple of guys trying to use, I go to the, I have the actual box score of the game and try to use the same players that were used in the game. So I had the box score here. Nice. I just lost it. Let's see. Close this up. All right, there it is. We had Freeman, Moylan. And I know Moylan and Carl pitched, Freeman pitched. Gonna bring in Jesse Biddle. He's a lefty, but Cespedes hits only 167 against lefties. So Biddle is going to come in to replace Freeman. Jesse Biddle. And runs on first and second. Here's the pitch to Cespedes. That's a 7. That's a tough pitch. 2 outs. Mets lead at 6-1 here in the bottom of the 8th. That's a 12. Tough pitch 12 against a lefty. That's a strikeout. So Biddle gets Cespedes to strike out. And deGrom's been pulled for pinch hitter, and it's going to be Gesellman. Robert Gesellman's coming in a 6-1 game. Going to get some action. Let's see, Gesellman. There he is. And then we're going to put him into that 9th spot. Done. All right, he's on the mound. Gesellman's going to face here in the top of the 9th in a 6-1 ball game. He's going to face Swanson, Flaherty, and the pitcher spot. So that's a 4. That's a tough pitch to Swanson. That's an 89. 89 is a ground ball right at Rosario, across the diamond, and that's 1 away. Ryan Flaherty is flied out and struck out twice. That's a 9. That's a tough pitch by Gesellman. It's a 52, and that ball is a blooper to short right field, and that drops in there for a single. So Flaherty singles, and now we're going to see a pinch hitter for going to be Preston Tucker. Preston Tucker is going to hit for Biddle. It's a lefty. And here is the pitch. Gesellman, that's going to be a tough pitch to Tucker. That's a 44, tough pitch 44. It's going to be a strikeout. 2 outs now. And it's Ender Enciarte. Here's the pitch from Gesellman. It's an 8 patient. Patient 45, patient 45. And that's going to be a deep drive off the left field wall. And Flaherty is a 6, so he's going to come around to score. It's a double. A double for Enciarte here in the top of the 9th inning. And it's Albies next against Gesellman. That's a 10. That's a tough pitch. 2 outs. 6-2 ball game. 63, a tough pitch 63. And Albies does nothing with it except fly it out to left field. Cespedes is there. And the game is history. So deGrom gets the victory. He is now, I believe, 5-1. And in our replay, again, just cannot lose a game. I just replayed his season, 32 starts last week, 2 weeks ago, and he was 18. He ended the season 18-2. Right now, he's 5-1. I mean, in this game, he gave up 2 runs. Actually, gave up 1 run. Got the victory. Mets scored for him, and they did not in the real life. They did not in the actual season. He ended up the season 10-9 with a 1.70 ERA. But in the replays, you know, he's keeping teams to 1 and 2 runs, and the Mets are scoring 3 and 4 runs, believe it or not. So anyway, we're going to keep on playing. We'll play another one in a little while, and thanks for stopping by and checking out the replay. Bye now.